Well, good morning. It is about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I am on my way to Summertown, Tennessee. Walker Road is where the farm is. Now, when I was a teenager, it was the hippie days, and I did what hippies do, and I wandered around and checked things out. One of the things I did, there's a nice lake. No, it's not a lake, it's frost-covered field. I went to the farm with some people, and I was impressed with their way of life. They lived in community. They divided and they gave everything in common and divided unto each as need.
In 300 meters, turn left on Gallatin Road.
And anyway, I learned a lot. I learned the importance of people over things, and I started developing spiritual awareness, and I understood the reason for certain commandments.
Turn left on Gallatin
They
Road.
weren't considered commandments, but I realized, I guess it was the beginning of my spirituality. I left the farm because people were not really happy, and because I became a Christian, and instead of all religions being of the same weight, I knew that Jesus was the Christ. And anyway, so in my development, it was a very big part, and there are still things today that teachings that I remember learning. There were sayings they had, like "as above, so below," which, whatever you're thinking about will manifest itself. Which is the same as from a man's heart. The abundance of a man's
Drive 4.7
heart
kilometers, then take
speaketh.
round, on right, to
man.
TN 386.
On right, left, right. I gotta change lanes. A man, from the abundance of the heart, a man speaketh. Oh, there's a place. Anyway, so. And not being attached, and a continuum. There's so many things on a continuum. Anyway, I won't go into it now, but I don't remember what I was going to say. But anyway, that's where I'm headed. So I'm in Nashville, and I have left, what is the name of this town? Hendersonville. I'm in Hendersonville, and I'm going to follow Nuvi. She's going to take me across to the farm. It should be about an hour and a half from here. My GPS is 8, but I guess it's 7. I guess we're in the next time zone, so it's an hour early. My GPS is on the right time, though. It says I'll get there at 8:45, and the farm opens from 9 to 5. Think of it as having open and closed hours is different. It was always open. It was a place, and people would come and they would arrive, and there was the gate, which is more than a place. It was sort of a situation where a member of the farm would sit, and all the other people that would come to the gate would sit and visit, and they would sort of kind of feel everybody out, decide, if they really wanted to let them in to their home, and let them. And then if you wanted to live there, you had to ask Stephen, and I did ask Stephen, and he said yes. But then I decided to travel some more, and then I came back and I left. I came back and left, and I was told that the gate is not a swinging gate. So finally I decided to keep going. It was a very interesting time in my life. Okay, so here we are driving on Indian River, or no, we're on West Main Street in Hendersonville, Tennessee. So how are y'all today? Did you have a good sleep? I made so many videos yesterday. I don't know how many I made. Oh, 20, 30, 40 videos maybe? No, maybe 35 videos yesterday. I filled up a 4 gig card and an 8 gig card, and then I started working on my 16 gig card. So there's a lot of videos, so you'll see them eventually. Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset. I really like Barb's sister Katie. She's a wonderful person. And they're so happy to see each other. They haven't seen each other in person in 10 years, I guess. I don't think Barb has been there at the house for 22 years. Sunrise, sunset. You see those distant mountains? I'm just showing you zooming. Don't worry, I'm not going to hit anybody. Those rocks, aren't they amazing? So Hendersonville is a suburb of Nashville.
In 600 meters, take ramp on right to TN 386.
Is this your tromping ground? Your stomping ground? This one on this side says, support our troops. And this one on this side says, God bless the USA. I wonder who came up with the slogan, God bless our, support our troops. Remember the problem that was had with the Vietnam vets? They came back and they weren't wanted. People were upset with them for having gone to Vietnam. But, so I think that the support our troops was in reference to that. They didn't want people to come back as horrible people. They wanted them to come back as heroes.
386.
But I wonder, that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. But I wonder how much of that was also propaganda. You know, the first casualty of war is the truth. And I think it was, Churchill that said that? But the propaganda, to make everybody think that this was important to do and a good war to fight, you had to have everybody behind the fact that they were going to go to war. And so if
Keep
you
left onto TN 1386
supporting your
south.
youth that are in the Army became almost parallel with supporting the fact that there was a war. I mean, if you say something bad about the war, then you're also saying something bad about your youth that are there. And so when they say support the troops, we are thinking that means support our kids and the Army and those people that are over there giving their lives for the cause. But how much of that was propaganda? Was it just a wonderful mother that started the idea of support our troops, or was it propaganda that we should do this to support the fact that we're having a
Drive
war?
19 kilometers on TN 1386 south.
Anyway, those are my thoughts. I always have wondered when I see these signs that say support our troops, if it's as is the surface is support our troops, just love them and be glad of them and pray for them, or is there an ulterior thing happening? Is this propaganda to try and bolster the commitment to go out and fight? And I think this was about the war in Iraq more than in Afghanistan, and the whole war in Iraq was sort of a tenuous, reason for doing this. On the surface, it was, well, in the United States, I was in Canada and in the United States, and in Canada it was called the invasion of Iraq, which technically it was an invasion of Iraq. But the Americans on TV, it was the rescue of Iraq or something like that. So, to get rid of a dictator, there's dictators all over the world, but they chose this one. And exactly why did they choose this one? Was it because, he was worse than others, or did it because it was affecting American interests? Castro's in Cuba and they don't go and do anything. Of course, that kind of got messed up in the Bay of Pigs. All right, I think I have pontificated long enough, don't you? Yes, so we'll stop. I'll try and be mum on the subject. Bye. I love you, darlings.